Welcome to my YouTube nursing classroom. This is the part 3 of the Philippine Nursing Law lecture. Section 7 talks about the compensation of the Board of Nursing. The exact salary of the BON is not specified in the law, but all the members of the BON are said to be given as much as they deserve. Their compensation and allowances are comparable to the compensation and allowances received by the chairperson and members of other professional regulatory boards. Section 8 of the article states that the BON is under the guardianship of the PRC. If we will view it in the organizational chart, the BON is directly under the PRC, which is also under the executive branch of the government. So it means that all files on examination or cases that are submitted to the BON are under the custody of the PRC. And the manpower needs of the BON, like secretary and support services, shall be provided by the PRC as stipulated in the law. The next section is about the must-know stipulations about the different powers of the BON that is provided for by the RA 9173 law. Here, we will talk about the powers and duties of the BON. The first item is that the BON has the power to conduct the Nurse Licensure Examination. The Board of Nursing is responsible for the scope, structure, and the content of the Nurse Licensure Examination. It means that they will also write each board exam question in their test bank. This particular power is also stipulated in the Section 12 of the RA 9173 law. It is said there that the board exam shall be conducted by the BON, and the PRC is the one who is responsible for setting the dates and the venues for the Nurse Licensure Examination. Number 2, the BON is vested with the power to issue, suspend, or revoke licenses. The BON can issue licenses for the passers of the Nurse Licensure Examination. But if a nurse is not careful with his nursing practice, the BON can also suspend or revoke licenses. But before the suspension or revocation of licenses, an exercise of due process of the law must happen. Due process has no exact definition, but for this lecture, think of it as being given a chance to have a fair trial or hearing before punishment or acquittal. The next power of the BON is conducting hearings and investigations to resolve complaints against nurses. When the BON conducts a hearing, they are exercising their power, also known as quasi-judicial power. If the BON tries the case of one particular nurse who is accused of malpractice or negligence, the trial or the hearing or the procedural process is in the exercise of their quasi-judicial power. So why is this called quasi-judicial power? Because they are functioning like a court, but they are independent from the regular court. They do not work or belong to the lower court, Supreme Court, or any kind of court. But they conduct the same powers as those employed in the court to conduct a hearing or a trial. Because of this, we can say that the BON possesses quasi-judicial power. If the regular court conducts a hearing or a trial, it is known as judicial power. But if the BON conducts a hearing or a trial, it is known as quasi-judicial power. Quasi means almost, partly, or seemingly. So when the BON functions like a court, it means that the BON is partly judicial, almost judicial, or seemingly judicial. Now, if the Board of Nursing, in order to maintain the quality of education, the quality of nursing practice, and the BON will actually adapt, set, and proclaim resolutions, guidelines, policies, rules for nursing schools and the nursing practice, they are exercising the quasi-legislative power. In coordination and consultation with the PNA, the BON had written a code of ethics as well. These functions are part of their quasi-legislative power. But when the BON enforces the code of ethics and the other guidelines or regulations, they are exercising their executive power. The fact that all the members of the BON were appointed by the President and that they are under the PRC means that they are under the executive branch of the government, and therefore, they can exercise their executive power. Being within the executive department, they need to execute the different laws that are actually mandated and given by them to all various nursing schools and hospitals. Number 5, the Board of Nursing has the duty to monitor and enforce quality standards of nursing practice. We have the core competency standards that is being used as a unifying framework for the regulation of nursing practice and education. It is also being used as a framework for nurse performance evaluation tools and for the development of a nurse training curriculum. The sixth duty of the Board of Nursing is to ensure quality nursing education. In order to maintain that nursing programs are complying with and maintaining the standards at all times, the BON is responsible for monitoring nursing program standards for schools or colleges of nursing. But can the BON close a particular nursing school? The answer is no. Only the power to recommend the different schools that are candidates to be closed is actually lodged to the BON. But the power to close a particular nursing school is vested upon the Commission on Higher Education. So it means to say that the BON will have the power to recommend nursing school closure. Not the actual closure, but only the recommendation for its closure. But can the BON close a particular nursing school? The answer is no. Only the power to recommend the different schools that are candidates to be closed is actually lodged to the BON. The power to close a particular nursing school is vested upon the Commission on Higher Education. So it means to say that the BON will have the power to recommend nursing school closure. Not the actual closure, but only the recommendation for its closure. Because closing the school is within the jurisdiction of the Commission on Higher Education. This is also the same when a university or a college is seeking permission to open a nursing program. The BON can only write a recommendation letter to the CHED, but the authority to let the university open a nursing school is vested upon the Commission on Higher Education. The next duty of the BON is to recognize nursing specialty organizations, such as the following. And those are the powers and the duties of the BON. We now go to Section 11. This section details the removal or suspension of a BON member. After being given the opportunity to defend himself or herself in a proper administrative investigation, members of the BON can be suspended or removed from their position due to the following grounds. The first is the commission or toleration of irregularities in the nurse licensure examination. An example of this is the infamous leakage issue of 2006. The second ground for the removal or suspension of a certain BON member are immoral, unprofessional, and dishonorable conducts. And the third one is incompetence or continued neglect of duty. If proven guilty of any of the three grounds, the President can remove or suspend a member of the BON. That is the end of Part 3. You can now answer the post-test for Parts 2 and 3. Here are the answers on the post-test. That's the end. See you on part 4. Bye!